Hey everybody, welcome back. This is another one of our marathon beer tasting days. I had a friend who was able to hook me up with some super impossible to get beers if you live in Wyoming. We have a bunch of East Coast IPAs to drink today, and we're starting today off with one from Treehouse Brewing, which is in Charlton, Massachusetts. And Mike has had a different version of this beer before. I'll let him tell you about that.
I've had the Jjjuliusss, the standard base version of this Triple J and Triple S Jjjuliusss. I thought it was fantastic, one of the best beers I've had, and this one takes it a notch higher.
Yeah, this is one of the holy grail beers for anyone who's a hazy IPA lover, and so
It's right now it's number 8 of the top beers, IPA style, on Untapped.
Yeah, and it's well deserving of it. It's really exciting to get to taste it finally. You know, someday I want to make it out there to visit the brewery. They make tons of different beers, and we have another Treehouse coming up next. But yeah, this beer, it's got it all. Great mouthfeel, hops everywhere. It's just
You can smell the orange from over here.
yeah, there's definitely a little citron in it for sure. So it's an amazing beer, and definitely one that probably going to be one of the highlights of my entire beer drinking year.
This is a bomb beer.
Yes. So we'll be back with the second Treehouse beer here shortly. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're back with the second Treehouse beer today. This is the Fruit Project Guava, and they brew it with fresh guava, stone fruit, and peach puree, and so it is a smoothie-esque fruit bomb of a beer, I would say.
That's a good description of it. It's definitely fruited.
Yeah, I get even some banana mango type flavors in there. Not a lot of hop, I don't feel.
No, but you can tell that it is hopped.
Yeah, definitely a good beer. Not quite as good as the Jjjuliusss that we had. And did I put too many J's?
No, that was just
Jjjuliusss. Whatever. This one's super good, and these two beers have, I think, started off our day just right. So next up, we're gonna have a few beers from Vitamin C Brewing, which is also out in Massachusetts. So we'll be back for that one shortly. Cheers.
East Coast Beer Day.
We're back with a third beer of the day. This is a beer from a brewery that I have never tried before, obviously, because you can't get their beers out here. This is a Vitamin C Brewing from Weymouth, Massachusetts, and they've been making waves recently with their hazy IPAs, doing great stuff. HopCulture.com named them as their 2019 Brewery of the Year. And this is the Happy New Year Double IPA. So Mike's going to tell us a little bit about the hops.
So it says, I just looked this up, Vitamin C is new to me too, that this particular beer is brewed with Citra, Mistral, and Sultana hops. Two of those latter ones are sort of new to the scene. I think they came out in 2019-ish, and they definitely impart a unique flavor. I was just reading that the Sultana hops give it sort of a piney and pineapple flavor simultaneously.
Yeah, I can see that.
You can definitely taste that in this beer. It's a really unique combination.
A lot of West Coast IPAs get a very pine-heavy character based on the hops they use. You know, the beers that use the 3 big C hops. But to have the pineapple pine cross is maybe that unique element that I'm tasting. It's really good. I'm liking it the more of it I have.
Yep, so I'm looking forward to trying more.
Yeah, we've got a triple IPA from the same brewing coming up here shortly. So
is this double IPA?
This one's a double. Yeah, and it's very light in color. After drinking that Big Jjjuliusss one earlier, it was much more orange in terms of its color.
Yeah,
but this is very light. But and a lot of hazies that I've had that are this light get thin on the mouthfeel. I feel, and it just doesn't have a.
This one holds up well.
Yeah, this is a solid beer. So we'll be back with a few more here shortly. Cheers. All right, we're back with the fourth beer today, and this is another Vitamin C brewing, and this is the cream with coffee. It's a cream ale with lactose brewed with cinnamon and coffee. And we were talking before we tried it, we were like, we've never really had a cream ale that we liked. And what do you think?
I'm blown away by it, actually.
This is hands down the best cream ale I've ever had.
And it tastes completely different than it smells. And it smells great.
Yeah.
And it tastes great. But, I mean, the two are just so juxtaposed against each other. It's wild. It smells like coffee, but it tastes like cinnamon.
I get a little cinnamon on the nose, but the coffee's fairly strong. I find the cinnamon is the more powerful flavor when you drink it.
It's almost like a chicory coffee,
Yeah, I can see that.
but super light and it's so good.
Yeah, it's cloudy and hazy and oh wow, I could drink this for dessert every night and be happy. I think.
I was saying earlier that it's sort of like a cinnamon stout, but without the stout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would we kind of likened it to the Fremont Bee Bomb a little bit in terms of a winter ale with spices, kind of coffee-ish, because they make a coffee cinnamon Bee Bomb, and I think that was what we had the last one that we tried.
Yep.
Man, very similar, but it's not the same color. But dang, this is a good beer.
By far, I mean, best, hands down, best cream ale.
Yeah, amazing. So we got one more vitamin C coming up here shortly. Cheers. All right, next beer today is the Fremont Head Full of Dynamite number 26. This is an awesome series that's been going on for a long time. I think my earliest ones were, 11, 12, somewhere in that range.
That's probably when I started too, or when it became available here.
Yeah, we get it in Billings. And this beer is, each batch is a little different. They use slightly different hops, and I love this version. It's.
Do you remember what hops are in this one?
I don't remember what hops are in this one at the moment. I don't know if it says in the can or not.
Let's check it out.
This particular one I like because to me the mouthfeel is a lot bigger than the last number 25 and 24. I think the last couple just haven't quite hit the spot like the old ones used to.
I'd agree with that.
And for me, this one's great. It's kind of I was telling Mike, he needs to try this one on a day where it's his first beer, because we've had so many big crazy beers today already that this one is just a little bit small compared to them.
Yeah,
I would say. So, what do you think so far?
I enjoy it, but like you said, it sort of pales in comparison to the other beers that we've had so far. But we've had some fantastic beers so far, so it's probably not a fair assessment right now.
Yeah. It's Head Full of Dynamite always has a very distinct nose to it. It's very hoppy, but you could tell, like, I don't know what it is in the nose, but you smell one and that's a head full.
There are certain breweries that do certain styles or have certain beers that you can just tell. I feel like Odell does that from Fort Collins, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Fremont does that with their beers.
Yeah. It's a brewery I definitely love to visit in person at some point. I'm glad we get their beers out here though, because they make some amazing stuff. So we'll be back with, I think, our last vitamin C here shortly. So cheers. I think we're entering that fun part of the beer tasting day where it's just fun drinking beer, right? This is our last.
The quality we've had.
The quality today has been one of my best beer days ever. I think. I don't know if you'd agree, but
I think so. I mean, we've had beers that I wanted to try for forever, and man, these are so good.
Yeah, Vitamin C Brewing is one that neither of us have ever had, and dang, it's been. Every beer we've had from them, we only had 3, but they've all knocked it out of the park. This is the triple IPA from Vitamin C, the Vitamin C Cubed. It's a collaboration with Equilibrium Brewing, brewed with Wakatu, Citra, Mosaic,
Galaxy,
and Galaxy hops. And wow, light in color like the double, but the mouthfeel and everything is. It's a solid 4.5 for me. on the
Yeah.
scale.
For a triple IPA, man, this thing, look at this. It's like an orange smoothie.
It's just a beautiful beer. I am so happy with this. If I could have this beer every day, I would probably be really fat.
It's a couple hundred calories in that can.
There's at least a couple hundred calories. But oh man, this beer is just phenomenal. I definitely am impressed with this brewery, and if I can ever get my hands on some more, it's gonna happen because, wow, it's definitely on top of my list to visit if I ever make it out to the East Coast, for sure, I think.
Oh, yeah. Need a Boston road trip now.
Yeah,
see Treehouse and
Treehouse,
Vitamin C and Trillium. Oh.
Yeah, this would be amazing. So, where is Equilibrium?
Equilibrium's in New York, Middletown.
Okay. So yeah, definitely amazing beer. So that's all I have to say about it. I'm just gonna enjoy this. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, we're here with our second to last beer of the night. This is the Hippie Cabbage Triple IPA from Slice Brewing in Lincoln, California. This brewery was started by the guy that was in charge of Moonraker Brewing, and it's a dank beer, man.
Well, with a name like Hippie Cabbage, I guess it lives up to it.
Yes. The descriptor on it says there's flavors of stuff like hash oil and those kinds of things, and it's a very clear. We've been enjoying this one. I almost forgot to come out and take the video, but it's definitely not hazy like most of the beers we've had today, and 10% alcohol. Man, the nose on it is super complex. I'm enjoying this beer. It's nothing but flavor.
Oh yeah, I could just smell this one all day.
Yes.
So dang.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about hop pillows and how you can put like a little bit of hops into your pillow and it's supposed to help you sleep better. And man, if you could capture this beer and put it under your pillow at night, life would be amazing.
You know, this is the second triple that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
Man, every triple that I've had up to this point, I think, has been overly malty and super sweet. Neither of these last two have.
Yeah, both Mike and I just love hops, and so too much malt gets in the way, I think, of our enjoyment of them. And so these last two triples have just been top-notch examples of what you can do with a high alcohol content, but with really good hop flavor. So
and a well-balanced beer.
Yeah, it's amazing. The can actually says on it, "This is not your father's jazz cabbage." So it's made with Mosaic and Equinaut hops, and man, we are super lucky to be able to have this beer from California, and it was canned just 2 weeks ago. So excited to have this beer. So cheers.
Cheers. Finish this off.
All right, we're back with the final beer of the day, and we've gone local for this one. Kind of local, I guess. This is from By All Means Brewing in Billings, Montana, and this is their very new release. It's their 006 Hazy IPA, brewed with Citra and Eldorado hops. And what are your thoughts on this one, Mike?
This is a good beer. You know, I've tried every single one of this series from the first to this. I still think that number 4 is my favorite. Number 4 was super hazy, super high hopped.
Higher alcohol too, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What does this one come in at? 6?
It's not
6.9 or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
And you know, this is a good beer. It's probably not my favorite of the series so far, but that's kind of subjective.
Yeah. Drinking this one, I feel like it's always hard when you have a day where you drink a ton of big, huge beers.
Yeah.
When you drink one that's a good beer but is relatively small in comparison in terms of both mouthfeel and ABV, it's always hard to go, wow, this beer feels really, it's almost it almost feels like a Bud Light in comparison to those other ones.
Right.
But this is a really
I think
good
this
beer.
is an approachable beer for somebody that doesn't necessarily like hazy IPAs but wants to get into them, and that could be a good jumping off point.
Yeah, the Citra comes through. I think the Eldorado hop gives a little bit of a sweet element to it that I think is easy drinking. It's definitely it's a good beer.
It doesn't have the hop burn this fresh that 004 did.
Yeah, we had 004 right after it hit stores, and oh man, the hop burn was insane. And then wait a couple weeks, it was really good. And then I recently last week had it on tap, and it was already past its prime. It definitely was not really super drinkable anymore at that point. So
I think this is the type of beer that would stay in a can for 3 months rather than just one.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's by all means is always producing really good stuff, and it's fun to have that brewery in our area to try. So
they are amazing.
They are really good. So Mike, what was your favorite beer we had today, and why?
My favorite beer today has been that very first one, the Jjjuliusss. And it was just so well balanced. The hops burst forward. It was so smooth in the mouthfeel. I mean, it's just a world-class beer. Unbelievable. What about you?
I would say it was that for me too. That beer, like Mike said, world class. There's something that Treehouse is doing. Obviously, if their IPAs are currently taking up the vast majority of the top 10 New England IPA slots on every site, whether it's Untapped or Beer Advocate, they just do it right. And I sincerely wish we could get more of them out here, because oh my gosh, I would drink nothing but that. It's it's amazing.
It's always a treat to get something new like that.
Yeah, I would say my second favorite, it's a close second for me, is the triple IPA from Vitamin C. I think that beer was just phenomenally well made.
That redefined for me what a triple could be.
It could be, yeah. I think that beer is definitely, it might even crack, top 10 beers I've ever had. I just love that beer. And obviously the Jjjuliusss was was definitely top 5, and it was sad to see it no longer in my fridge, but it's beer, you gotta drink it, and it's hazy IPA, so you gotta drink it fresh.
Sit there forever.
You can't sit and save it like you can these big stouts and stuff. So we'll probably have another big beer tasting day coming up here in the next month or so. But yeah, thanks for hanging with us today throughout everything, and take care. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you around for more beers and hikes soon.
Happy
Cheers.
drinking. Should have said hoppy drinking.
Hoppy drinking.
You can add that to the end of the video.
That's good. All right, let's try again. Here we go. Cheers. Hoppy drinking.
Hoppy drinking indeed.